Coming up on News Live at 6, students across the country are receiving racist text messages.
Return and reply.
Such a smug look. Truly. I'm honestly asking that.
Town supervisor, our Drew Matiasek, talks about what went down in the latest meeting.
This is a crisis. This is a crisis.
And a Common Council meeting to hear from residents about lead in the water is wrapping up now. What they said and when. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Teens across the country tonight are saying that they received racist and threatening text messages. Good evening and welcome into News Live at 6 on this Thursday. I'm Ronnie Parrillo.
And I'm Ilana Epstein. Officials are saying many people across the country are receiving racist text messages. Citrus TV's Chloe Breeze is live. Chloe, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. The FBI is conducting an investigation regarding the text messages that were sent anonymously using a VPN targeting Black individuals around the nation. High school and college students are among many who have received racist text messages this week. Several states have reported citizens receiving these anonymous messages, generally using a similar tone. Zahir Raheen, president of the Black Student Union, told me about their next steps.
I think right now our e-board has had a lot of internal conversations and thinking about what next steps will look like. With the current election results, I think there is a lot to put into question.
There are a number of variations of the messages, but all the texts include instructions, times, dates, and references to being picked up in a van, some including recipients' names and locations. William Green, a Cornell student, told me his thoughts on the messages.
But I've definitely seen it around. And at this point, even if you haven't received it personally, just the fact that it's floating around, period, is, still affecting people.
Messages were sent around the time of the election, creating tensions in a time when emotions were already running high.
People are obviously very scared as a result of the election, and this being sent right after is not really helping how people are feeling. So
these texts have left many afraid for the future, but some not shocked that racist messages like these were sent out.
It's not really surprising anymore, but it was still disappointing, but not really surprising.
It is not clear yet who sent these messages or how many messages were sent. At this time, the investigation is still ongoing. Reporting live for Citrus TV News, I'm Chloe Breeze. Ilana and Ronnie, back to you.
All right, Chloe, thanks so much for your reporting on that tonight. New details now, as some Falk majors are getting a new place to call home. The College of Arts and Sciences will take over Human Development and Family Science. This program will also include what was formerly the Marriage and Family Therapy major. A&S Dean Bazad Mordavazi, says, quote, Arts and Sciences will provide HDFS with a strong, complementary foundation to help foster even greater research and scholarly excellence. He says he's ready to support the move.
A developing story we've been following now for weeks: lead in Syracuse water. Citrus TV investigative reporter Luke Welch takes us to the City Hall, where constituents are pleading their concerns to the Common Council.
Ronnie and Ilana, the meeting is wrapping up just behind me here at City Hall, where constituents were able to voice their concerns regarding the lead water in roughly 14,000 homes across the city. I spoke with one Common Council member who says that the NRDC's call for a crisis is valid, even with the mayor's disapproval.
We cannot say, well, we thought we fixed it. This is a crisis. This is a crisis.
Councilman Marty Nave says city officials are in agreement that something must be done about clean water accessibility in Syracuse, and while the mayor's 5-year plan to fix the contaminated homes takes place, he has an idea in the meantime.
Every resident who wants a Pura filter should get one.
He finds it frustrating that other local and state officials are hyper-focused on the future rather than current issues like lead in the water.
You got Micron to come here. Why? Because of our water. Because of our water systems.
While City Hall tries its best to reverse the effects of land contamination, Nave has only one message of what constituents can do right now.
I would suggest all citizens get bottled water, because we're going to have another water main break. Consider this, water main break. Let in the water. People are concerned. People don't believe what they are being told.
Now, while this meeting was to hear directly from residents, action regarding the 5-year timeline fix for these 14,000 homes is still up in the air. We'll have all the details and recap of the meeting tomorrow on News Live at 6. For now, from City Hall, Luke Welsh, Citrus TV, I-Team News.
Syracuse airport officials are speeding up plans to build a major terminal expansion and a new parking garage. The goal for the new additions is to make passenger traffic smoother. It's because of Micron Technology's arrival in central New York. Changes could include more covered parking and a direct route from the parking garage to the TSA security checkpoint for those not checking bags.
All right, headed up north now, $11 million is heading to revitalize the port of Oswego. Leaders say this investment will play a big role in Micron's operations here in central New York. The money comes from a grant from the Department of Transportation. Now, that goal is to help renovate infrastructure and prepare for the arrival of Micron. This includes adding a new water slide, improving security, and replacing the port's damaged warehouse. That new warehouse will be the first one that's climate controlled at a port on the Great Lakes, and it'll have access to railroads and water.
The Cicero Town Board met for a regularly scheduled meeting yesterday, but it turned heated after there was public input about the allegations against Town Supervisor Michael Aragano. Citrus TV's Drew Matiasik watched the meeting and is taking us through it here in studio. Drew?
Thanks, Ilana and Ronnie. Last night was the first time the town board met publicly since the intense meeting last month where Natalie Van Epps and her lawyer faced Town Supervisor Michael Aragano face-to-face with their allegations from the signed affidavit in September. In that affidavit, which Citrus TV obtained shortly after the meeting, Van Epps accuses Supervisor Aragano of using abusive behavior and language towards her during her time working for the town of Cicero. Accusing him of actions such as forcing her to disclose personal medical information to him when she stated she had a doctor's appointment, Aragano forcing her to tell him what she was sick with at the office, in which Van Epps had to tell him it was her period, and restricting her bathroom usage in the office. Aragano has since denied the claims repeatedly and has said the board members are so adamant that he resign because they are contriving these accusations in an attempt to bully him into voting for things that are not in the best interest of the town of Cicero. A reminder that the town board members have a supermajority and are able to pass anything they want, as nothing requires unanimous consent on the town board. Last night, supporters of Aragano took the stand to defend the town supervisor.
But just to be clear, you already decided that you were going to continue coming into the office every day, which is going to...
Do what? Do what?
You don't think that that affects the integrity of the investigation when you're here with the employees
you know what,
every
Ms.
day?
Hogan, I'm not going to get into this.
Mr. Germain, can you confirm?
My dealings with Mr. Aragano have been positive. Every phone call and email that I've made to him in his office, he's always returned and replied.
Why do you have such a smug look? Truly, I'm honestly asking that. You have a very smug look when people are talking in support of Supervisor Aragano at any degree of anger or rage. Look at me when I'm talking, please. I'd appreciate that respect. I've never
been treated with anything but the utmost respect by Mr. Aragano. Additionally, I have never been privy to any conversations which would lead me to believe that Mr. Aragano is anything but a trusted civil servant.
I'm going to pray for each and every one of you for what you are doing to this man. It's wrong. No one was even there to witness this. There's not one witness, but you're all jumping on this board.
Why is the board involved, and why is it only Mr. Karp who's having these conversations behind the scenes? Thank you. With that being said, I'll make a recommendation. We close the meeting. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. So you'll find out in the report.
I don't know if you caught that in the end, but that was Counselor Jonathan Karp saying Aragano will find out in the report why the investigators have been speaking to board members. Now, it's not entirely clear whether Arellano did invite the speakers to come to his defense last night, but people surely did show up to defend the town supervisor, which is a complete 180 from what the public input section looked like last month. The next town board meeting is scheduled for December 11th at 6:30 p.m. Ronnie and Ilana, back to you.
Drew, thank you so much. Turning to our weather now, I have one word to describe how it feels outside: cold.
It is
freezing.
wicked cold. That's what we say in Rhode Island.
That is true.
I
yes.
mean, oh, it's chilly.
I brought out my puffer jacket. Finally, I've been wearing it. I'm going to wear it all the time now.
It's
so
a great
cold.
look. It's very fashionable, very trendsetting.
Yes, you did compliment me today.
I did. I enjoyed it very much. All right, here to tell us if there's any snow that's going to come around central New York is Jackson Breslin.
Yeah, Ilana, you're right. It is cold today. I was wearing my winter jacket as well. But Ronnie, I'm not seeing any snow for the time being. But right now it's 42 degrees and cloudy with 5-mile-per-hour winds. So that wind is going to make it feel even colder than it is. Now, taking a look at the temperatures around the region. Well, Elmira is the warmest, or Rochester is the warmest at 45. Then Elmira just a little bit below at 43. Syracuse is at 42. And then Corcoran is the lowest at 37, with Rome a little bit warmer at 38. Now, taking a look at tonight's temperatures, it's going to drop down to around 39 degrees at about 10 p.m. And it's still going to be cloudy, and it's going to feel colder, like I was saying, as it is right now. It's going to feel about 36, 35 degrees. And so if you're going out tonight, make sure that you have a nice heavy coat with you so that you don't get too cold. That's all I have for now. Ronnie and Ilana, I'll send it back to you.
All right, he said no snow. That's great. New tonight, Governor Kathy Hochul has announced she will lift the pause on congestion pricing down in New York City after months of delay. Her new approach requires Easy Pass users to pay $9 for cars entering Manhattan below 60th Street. Now, that base toll, lower than the initial $15 one originally proposed earlier in the year. Hochul says the $9 toll will be enough to secure the $15 billion needed for MTA funding towards future projects. She says that'll help improve subways, among other plans. Congestion pricing is expected to take effect in early January.
Over 60,000 homes and businesses across upstate New York will soon have access to affordable and high-speed internet. It comes after Governor Hochul and other state leaders announced over $140 million in awards yesterday. It's part of the Connect All Municipal Infrastructure Grant Program, which plans to expand broadband infrastructure throughout central New York and other communities. Governor Hochul says, quote, "New Yorkers can now track our progress as we work to ensure what no community is left behind in our digital future."
Coming up on News Live at 6, a trifecta. Republicans completing their sweep of Congress today. What that means for the incoming Trump administration.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Ronnie Parrillo, Ilana Epstein, and Jackson Breslin. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to Live at 6. It's been 9 days since the election, but one race for state senate in Onondaga County is still too close to call.
That's right, Ilana. Our political anchor Luke Radel reports that this is not the first time that this race has come down to only a handful of votes.
Here in Syracuse at the Onondaga County Board of Election, the wheels of democracy turn slowly, but there are some signs of forward progress, even in the race for New York's 50th state Senate seat, which has become known for some of the closest contests imaginable.
It was the first year of the hand count, and we needed it because it was only a 10-vote difference in that race that hand count took until the middle of December.
That work was done for weeks 2 years ago in this small office on Erie Boulevard, overseen by Democratic Co-Commissioner Dustin Zarney. Now, Zarney is back at work, counting the remaining ballots in this race, which is once again too close to call.
We never really know what these votes are until we open them up, so we'll have to see.
It was definitely nerve-wracking, to say the very least.
Rebecca Sheeroff was the Republican candidate who narrowly lost the seat after that weeks-long hand count required by state law.
In New York State, if it's 0.5% or less, you're required to do a hand recount. Ours, I think, was like 0.003 or some absurd number like that.
Right now, this race is just outside the hand count threshold, with Democrat Chris Ryan leading Republican Nick Perro by about 1,500 votes. Perro's campaign manager Liam O'Connor tells me they're holding out hope until every vote is counted.
With 2,500 Central New Yorkers' voices remaining to be, properly heard, we'd like to respect the process, make sure every vote is counted, and we have full faith in both the Onondaga and Oswego County Board of Elections.
In Syracuse, Luke Radel, Citrus TV News.
Luke, thank you. Republicans will hold on to control of the House after wins in Arizona and California pushed the GOP over the top. This now gives Republicans a trifecta with Donald Trump in the White House and control of the House and Senate.
Now, this echoes 2016 a bit if you can reach back 8 years when Trump started his first term and Republicans also controlled the House and the Senate after that election. This time, though, he'll have a conservative Supreme Court, 3 justices on there. He appointed Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been named by President-elect Trump to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has questioned the safety of vaccines and has had theories about them in the past.
Now, this nomination, not exactly a surprise. Kennedy endorsed Trump after dropping out of the 2024 race this summer. Since then, he's been an advocate for Trump's policies, with the president-elect promising Kennedy a spot in the administration while on the campaign trail.
Coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have your full 5-day forecast, and we'll talk about what's going on behind me. Stick with us.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast, you can see 50s across the board. Tomorrow is going to have a high of 53 degrees and mostly sunny. And on Saturday, well, it's just about the same. 52 degrees, both have a low of 34. Both are mostly sunny. Heading further into the weekend, on Sunday, we're going to see those clouds come back, high of 54. And then going into the week, we're going to see some morning showers on Monday, 55 degrees, and on Tuesday, high of 52 and cloudy. But hopefully the sun will come out a little bit more and we won't have as much clouds tomorrow night, because tomorrow is the beaver moon. And I was just as confused as you might be right now, because I had no idea what a beaver moon was. But according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, it is the full moon in November. So historically, it's when beavers start to prepare for winter, and that's when hunters start to bring out traps to get those beaver pelts for the winter. So it's also a supermoon, and it is the last supermoon this year. So hopefully we'll be able to go out and enjoy the beaver moon. I know that I'll be looking for it. I love a super beaver moon. I'm super excited for it. Sam, that's all I have in weather. What's coming up in sports?
Well, Jackson, beaver moon sounds fun. What's not been fun, Syracuse women's basketball start to the season. I'll tell you what's going on next on sports.
Welcome to my house. Lately, not my happy place. Everybody's pretty tired of each other. The parents were not themselves. My little brothers were morphing into small creatures. The walls were closing in. Clearly, a case of too much family, too close, 24/7. And there's a lot of that going around right now. If this sounds like your house, try going someplace new. YourLifeYourVoice.org. You'll find lots of ideas to help you handle the family stresses of being confined to close quarters. YourLifeYourVoice.org. It might not get you out of the house, but it could help you find a little more breathing room.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse women's basketball backs are up against the wall. Welcome to sports. I'm Sam Corcoran. After the Orange fell to St. Joseph's on Sunday, number 11 Maryland heads to the Dome to face SU. So let's not waste any more time and roll the tape. That's the second straight season UMD and SU have battled. Last season was a nail-biter with the Terps taking that contest. The Orange win the opening tip and get started early. Angelica Velez finds Georgia Woolley, who gets the first points of the game from the corner. After that, Syracuse continuing to pour it on the first quarter. Sophie Burrows gets the rebound, backs up, shoots it, and splash. SU a 20-14 lead through the first quarter, but after that, it would be all Maryland. In the second quarter, Christina Dulce gets the layup to go. Maryland takes the lead 25-24, and from there, they don't look back. Let's fast forward to the fourth quarter where Kayleen Schmeichel hits the three. That's the dagger. Maryland takes this one from Syracuse 84-73, and Syracuse finds themselves in some rough waters. Its first 1-2 start since 2006, and its record all-time against Maryland falls to a dismal 0-7. Next up for SU is a matchup against Fairleigh Dickinson again on Sunday. Let's head to the gridiron now, where Syracuse football head coach Fran Brown has been making headlines off the field. After his SU's loss to BC Saturday, Brown returned to the podium on Monday, where he admitted that he doesn't shower after he loses. Yeah, losers don't deserve soap, according to the Orange head coach. And yesterday, Brown doubled down on those comments, saying it's hard to stay clean when you can't win.
Man, you just sit there, you soaking in sorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Losing the game is, I don't know how everybody else look at it, but that's my life.
Well, one person Fran Brown admitted isn't too happy about this routine is Mrs. Brown. So is Coach going to be sleeping on the bed or the couch this weekend? Well, we'll find out Saturday as SU heads west to face Cal. The Bears entered this one off 2 straight wins and a victory away from bowl eligibility. Kickoff from Bear territory set for Saturday at 3. Well, if you're a New York hockey fan, tonight is your night. All 3 NHL teams, the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Sabres, are all in action. We're about a month into the season, and the Rangers sit 5 points out of the East's top spot, a 9-4-1 record, although 2 of those losses have came in the past 3 games. Meanwhile, the Isles and Sabres, middle of the pack, around 500, with a 16 and 15 points respectively. Tonight's slate gets going at 7 with the Rangers hosting the Sharks, who currently hold the 3rd worst record in the NHL. Then at 7:30 in Buffalo, that's where the Sabres battle a blue squad take on a 3-game losing streak. In the late window, you got the Islanders headed west to battle the Canucks at 10. And if those 3 games aren't enough for you, Ronnie and Ilana, how about the New Jersey Devils facing the Panthers for the East top spot at 7?
All right, Sam, thank you so much. Ilana, I shower all the time, sometimes twice a day.
Me too. This Fran Brown thing is very interesting. But here's the thing. I do think they're going to win. The last time they were out west, they were in Vegas, and they won.
That's
so
true.
I feel like it's good luck.
Air.
The nice warm weather. I'm honestly jealous, but
exactly.
We'll find out more about our weather.
Absolutely. We'll have your 5-day forecast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Taking a look at your wake-up weather. When you're first getting up, it's going to be pretty cold, 37 degrees. I missed those Thursday newses where I was able to say, yeah, it's going to be around 50 degrees when you're first waking up nice and warm. Nope, not anymore. 37 degrees when you're waking up, 44 a little bit later in the morning, and then 50 at noon. It should be a nice, mostly sunny and cool day. Guys, that's all I have for weather.
Jackson, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Well, there's a new queen of Christmas. Former Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce and Stevie Nicks have taken the top spot on the iTunes holiday song chart.
This is wild, Ilana. Their duet single, Maybe This Christmas, bumped Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You to 2nd place. That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
I've never heard of that before.
Every single year, All I Want for Christmas Is You is #1. This is crazy. So many Jimmy Fallon, Jason Kelce. I mean, what do you guys think about this?
I think it's fun that a lot of people who aren't in the music scene are now getting into it. Jason Kelce, super fun personality. I can totally see that being #1.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's time for a change. I'm not a huge Mariah Carey All I Want for Christmas
Thank
Is You
you.
fan.
Yes.
I'm tired of it.
I
think it's time for some new blood.
It's also only November. I mean, I get it. It's December soon. This month is flying by. But like, people start playing it too early and you get sick of it.
I think she'll come back as we get closer to Christmas. She's going to take the #1 spot.
She has to, and also
you can't escape her.
It's true.
So, do you guys believe that Christmas music should be played before Thanksgiving? I need to hear this.
Well, I talked about this last week.
I don't mind
absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
not.
Yeah, he did talk about this. I would say, like, starting on November 20th, maybe.
That's fair.
But I have heard it this
It's got to be
month
after
already.
Thanksgiving for me.
I think you can do it. I'm a big Elvis Presley fan. Blue Christmas.
Oh, that's a great
I'll make
one.
an exception for Elvis.
And I'm going to sing to everyone here. That is it for Citrus TV News live at 6 on this Thursday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Ilana Epstein.
And I'm Ronnie Parrillo. Have a great night, Central New York.